Just checking that it is working. This is me testing my voice. Checking that it's working. This is me testing my voice to check that it is working. I hope it's working, because otherwise that really sucks. This is me testing my voice, checking that it's working. This is me testing my voice, making sure that it's working. I will be able to check that in just a minute. But right now, I'm putting other things in. But then again, by the time that it's streamed, I might need to check that. My cat's going crazy. He's scratching his cardboard box. Ratchet, what are you doing? He's going crazy. Convinced he's crazy. Right, let's check. It's going crazy. He's scratching his cardboard box. What are you doing? Ratchet, what are you doing? What are you doing, little man? He's going crazy. Convinced he's crazy. Right, let's check. It's going crazy. He's scratching his cardboard box. Yeah, that's working. Cool. Okay, that is good. Hopefully, are you gonna go crazy, little man? Ratchet, are you gonna go crazy? Do you have zoomies? Do you have zoomies? I should play with you. I'm so sorry, sweetheart. Just settle down. Yeah, settle down. Good boy. Ah, right. So let's get this thing started. All right. Whoa. Hello everyone, and welcome back to Cities. I forgot that was a thing. Welcome back to City Skylines. I don't know how to stop that from making noise every now and again, but anyway. What I would really like to do in this episode is I've been thinking about this junction. What I would really like to do is continue this avenue of highway down into this particular connection down here, just to improve connections through the general area. But there's one problem with that, and that is that at the moment, space around here is at a premium. It's pretty easy to see that, you know, we've got a train line going around here, we've got another junction over here, we've got a lot going on in this general vicinity, and it's not going to be that easy to put a junction, a four-way junction in, like your traditional clover leaves and that sort of thing here. So it's a little bit tricky at the moment. So that thunder really gets me every single time. I don't know why. So we might need to change things up a little bit around this area. Just try and improve what we've got and make it hopefully a little bit easier to actually work with what we have and put in that connection over to this area. So we also have a train line on the other side, which is obviously going to be getting in the way of things. It'd be really cool to know how fast these are going. Also, they're empty. But how fast these trains are going. Because, I mean, compared to, say, one of the cars, it looks like it's overtaking a car on a motorway. So a car on a motorway is going like 60 miles an hour. So we're probably doing an easy 70, possibly even like faster on the trains, which I find quite interesting. I just don't know how fast they actually are going, because we don't get that sort of information, that, as far as I'm aware. But anyway, moving swiftly on. We want to connect up down here so that we have better connections to this area, and so that we can also basically improve the connections through our cities. So we've got our main city, and we've got our lower residential area city, sort of suburbia sort of thing over here. The thunder is getting loud. So I just really want to find a good spot for... Oh, we don't have any power. There we go. At what point does this go up a level? Oh, it's at the fullest level. The total level of fullness. So yes, I am getting a little bit distracted. But I want to put one of these down. Look at this. Pow. Look at that bad boy. Even in this scenario where it pretty much would be doing this sort of thing, where it would be digging away at the ground around it, it just doesn't look right, does it? Because it's like dug into this little area. It's a bit weird. But anyway, I just wanted to place one of them. Ignore my stupidity. So, oof, that was right here. It hit the... building is on fire. There we go. It hit the tall radio mast. Which is actually a little bit annoying because it means that we might not be able to move it when we want to here. So there's that, I suppose. Anyway, moving swiftly on and getting on with what I want to do in this particular stream. I want to carry this through, and to do that, we're going to have to move this entire stretch of the motorway over a little bit. It's going to be so pointless, but unfortunately, I don't really see another way that we can do this. We could potentially remove stuff that we've got here, but I don't really want to do that. I just want to effectively put this train line underground, and then we can pretty much do what we need to here. So, without further ado, let's just crack on with that. Hopefully I can do this without destroying other bits and bobs. So, if we go into trains, we should be able to place one of these that go underground, and then connect that in. Sort of like here, like so. So then we don't need to worry about that particular train line. Now, based on the fact that we have a lot of things that are underground here, I mean, a lot of things like metro, tunnels for people to walk, we've got tunnels for our actual roads, we've got all sorts going underneath in this specific zone, just to the right of the motorway if you were looking at it from this orientation. I want to put this motorway potentially underground if we can get it around this tunnel. We might have to move this tunnel, so I probably shouldn't have actually placed it down just then. But anyway, hindsight and all that. We're going to have to turn this trumpet over this way, so then we can turn this into a sweeping curve a little bit better. We also need to move our power generation here, so I think moving that up here where it's just a little bit more out the way will probably be a good idea. So where do we have pretty good power creation? Actually, on this side of the river there's pretty good power creation, or wind I should say. So let's make full use of that. Place some of these in that area. This one's on fire, so we can't move it, which is a little bit annoying. I might just let that fire helicopter do what it needs to. So hopefully then we can Move it. Yep, that's good. So I'm going to move it over here. So similarly to where it was down here, it's going to cover over here now. Hopefully that should be fine. It looks like we've got a earthquake detector. So if we have earthquake detect, oh, actually, that's a good point. When I was whining, for lack of a better word, about the so I was moaning about the what's it called? Weather disaster frequency. Here we go. I mean, this isn't a number, but I'm going to reduce it just because it's a little bit much at the moment, and I just want to get on with the actual game that we're playing, not rebuild the city 5 times over in a single stream every single time because the game wants to kill everything that I'm doing. So yeah, I found that on Reddit. If you're not following me on Reddit or following Rob Plays Games on Reddit, then I recommend to jump over there. It's a good place to get information about what we're doing, and I hope it'll definitely get a lot more use than it has in the past. If you're already on there, then say hi. It's you know, a really cool little community, and I really want to just help it grow. But anyway, we need to clean up what we've got around here. These are on fire. Oh no, they're not. They've not got enough buyers of products. Hopefully we can improve that with time. These are on fire. Oh no, they're not. Oh my goodness. So yeah, I'm gonna have to swap these around, which is gonna be a bit annoying because admittedly the orientation that it's in is probably the best for what we currently have set up. So that kind of sucks, but it is what it is. This is a pretty popular junction. I don't necessarily want to just remove it. To be honest with you, we do have other junctions down here which could get more use, and to be fair, we have a really good connection up here which doesn't get as much use as it could do, but maybe this is something that we need to look at, potentially trying to connect in around this area into here, so then we've got a connection at this point rather than over here. That might help get the traffic to where it needs to go without it going straight through the middle of the entire area. Interestingly, this particular external cargo train station isn't as popular as this one. I don't really understand why this one's so popular, other than probably it's right in the middle of everything. So if we were to put more cargo train stations around, that may help, because remember, our cargo train stations are connected up to not only our airport but also our harbours, which are pretty busy. I mean, it's hard to tell because we get no stats on it, which really sucks, but yeah, I'm pretty sure they're pretty popular, considering, I mean, this one isn't. Jeez. These are meant to be getting a fair bit of usage each year. Whether they are right here, I don't actually know. I thought these were fixed, but I may be wrong. So we might need to keep an eye on that. So yeah, last time we built our little passenger harbour just down from the main port of the city. So hopefully that can get some decent usage. We have a lot of problems with traffic, obviously, in this area. So if we could potentially put in another cargo connection somewhere in here, that would be probably quite useful. We do have other ones dotted around the city, but I don't know whether it's necessarily doing quite the right job. Anyway, that is what it is. Down here we've got a rather busy fire watch tower. I think I'll put it in the center of this industrial area. These fire watch towers can just really improve the sort of safety rating of the area. So I think it might be best to put a couple of these down in very high, just very busy areas where we've got a lot going on, especially where we've got extra space. It might just be worth placing one or two of them just to see how that goes. So hazard is at 68% currently. After those come on, hopefully it's going to go down. The hazard percentage in the top left. Maybe. Possibly. I'd have thought this would be helping this area, but it's not appearing to. Maybe it needs a fire station around here. So if there is a actual problem, the fire brigade can actually spin into action and go and help the issue. So let's just place a few more of those down. Anyway, moving swiftly back to what I want to get done here. It might be worth us rethinking. We've got a little bit more space here. Possibly rethinking what we've got going on. I don't necessarily want to completely change it, but I definitely want to change it. So let's remove the old junction. Very first junction that came with the map. And then we're going to remove from here our motorway. You can see a lot of the people who live right next to it are very happy because ultimately it's less noise pollution, but at the same time it does make everything a little bit harder to get to. So I don't know if I was seeing a motorway being removed right next to me, especially if potentially I use it every day, I don't know whether my first instinct would be yay! Just because it may well make everything else a little bit harder. But yeah. Let's just remove that tunnel that we put in initially for now. I'm going to remove this bit of track over here. Now, it's worth noting the tracks still work, and that's because currently there's another route round all the way up here, down here, and then to wherever they need to go. But I don't really want to keep it like that. So I'm going to put in a connection here, which will basically mirror the old one, but it will be underground. So let's just make sure that it's relatively sharing the same orientation. Oh, this one went out more in a sort of straight direction and then turned here. Okay, so that's now underground. We can now probably go across quite easily. So what I want to do is first off put the motorway through from here. So we're going to build out from here just straight across the river, because this is where we're going to be going with it. I don't know what these are doing. I don't understand why the bridges aren't quite aligned, because they're the same distance. In fact, it's probably a good idea if they went up a little bit, just because at the moment I don't quite like the look of them, because they almost go down into the water, which you would never really do. I don't think. I may be wrong. That's a bit high, so if we lower the grades down a little bit, that looks a bit more like it. Yeah, that looks a bit more like it to me. So I would imagine they would not go down the hill that the river goes into, and then basically just come across to a similar sort of distance, and then go back. So if we then go back down to the height of the road, and actually that is where the actual ground meets it, so that's really good. We just have to connect these up. So I think what I'm going to do is pull this out a little bit and then go back in, just so that we've got a bit of straight road here, because sometimes if you're using this, it can go off of this particular road, so it can get a little bit tricky. So I'm going to go off of that one, and then we need to do a road out with this road following it, and then a road in. And in fact, I might well take that somewhere like there, just so that we can keep things pretty well aligned. I'm hoping that'll do the trick. So we need to turn this one round and this one round, and then all of a sudden this area down here is connected up to this area via a really fast connection via the road, so they don't have to use these other roadways around the area. They can go directly through. So we're going to have to keep an eye on how busy this gets, because quite frankly it might get too busy, especially considering when we put all this in, we used dual carriageway down here, so 2 lanes. We did do 3 lanes going forward, and it may well be something that we change. I'm hoping that we could put in maybe another junction around here, and then have that become another sort of residential and commercial area that's lower density, with a little bit of splattering of higher density around the railway, that sort of thing. Just try and keep things a little bit neater up that way. Might be good to turn these into, excuse me, sorry, 4-lane stretches, just because they're quite close together. At the moment, it's not really an issue, so I won't worry about it too much. But it may become an issue. So we're going to go underneath and just put in our lanes. So this will be where the lanes underneath the road or underneath the connections here actually go. Hopefully that will be enough space for us to actually work with in order to put in our connections. We might not be able to do all connections here because, quite frankly, it's quite a tight space and I don't know what we can realistically achieve here. But I feel like having a connection the other side is more valuable to have than just having a three-way T-junction that connects everything up. So we actually turned this all into 4-lane motorway, didn't we? It might be better to take this from a further distance back. Somewhere like down here. Because what we can do now, hopefully at least, is come out straight down this way. And we can go back and go relatively straight up this way. I might even do a connection back. And this actually provides us with a little bit more space here, so we could do more stuff to connect in this road to the motorway. Potentially even creating new corridors through the city in order to have a lot more traffic come through this way rather than go through other ways to get to where they need to go. So that's something that we can potentially look at in the future. Right now, I just want to focus on getting things back to the way they were. I'm going to hit play because we need some money coming in order to do what we need to. So we're going to basically connect in this motorway up to here, and then we're going to do the same thing but connecting that one and then just swapping it around. So that way we've cleared this way through. What I may well do is create a connection here as well. So we're still getting money in, which is really good considering we've just kind of really changed everything up. I'm hoping that it stays that way. So we might need to take this a little bit further back. The game's just packaging because the autosave's going. So let's just wait for that to finish. He says. There we go. So I'm going to take this further back. I might actually take it to that point. So what I want to do is bring this up in line with each other. And then hopefully these are close, but they shouldn't interact. No, that's too close actually. Okay, this is okay. We can take that out. And then all of a sudden we've got this other route opened up. So that section of the motorway is all connected. We just need to now work on the junction here. So the easiest ones will be the connections sort of going to the lane that's right next to it, albeit with this being the exception. So we might have to do something there. something slightly different. So if we go to maybe that point, come out, do a 90-degree turn, and then go out for a little bit. In fact, if we have this one, snaps working against me here. It's a shame you can't select which of the roads you want to use for road guidelines. We might need to move this. Let's just move it to the other end, because we've now got a whole load of space there where it used to not be a possibility, because we took out that junction last episode. And then we're coming down this way. So I'm going to be doing this relatively by hand. I'm hoping that we can do something that's fairly decent, but at the same time reasonable for the space that we have. So we've got a line coming off this way. Hopefully that will make placing this one a little bit easier. It might even remove the road guidelines. Right, we've got the same issue here with a shelter, so we'll just put that over there. This will be from here into there, but we're going to be doing this the other way around. Right, so we have a connection that way now. So now traffic can come down this way and traffic can come into the city this way, but they can't cross over, they can't do other things which we really want them to be able to do. So we need to build that into our current situation. So I'm hoping that we can possibly do that from here. So if we go up just a few levels, in fact that's a bit more than I was anticipating. If we go up a few levels at a time, then hopefully we can create a sweeping curve, he says. Hopefully we can do a sweeping curve which will allow us to come down at this point. So we might have to remove this little bit of road. It's not that big a deal when we are effectively putting in a massive connection for this area. So let's take that as far down as it will allow us, and then hopefully, in fact, what we could do is just continue this out a little bit more. So I'm going to place that on that side so that we've got nothing here that will actually stop us from building this where we want it. I'm going to build this up to here, and then hopefully if we take that and place it into here, we can get a decent curve that doesn't look too bad in my humble opinion. And then we can place this one in here. So it's a bit more elongated than I was hoping, but considering we've done this freehand, it's not too bad in my humble opinion. maybe not a 10 out of 10, but at least a decent. Five, maybe 5. I don't know. Let me know in the comments what you think. And don't just be kind. You know, it's not the best. I know there's better out there. And to be honest with you, I've got better pre-installed as well. Putting this in freehand, so to speak, is going to be a right pain in the ass, I think, personally. So let's give this a try. Go up by 3 each time, and I might even take that to a little bit further back, just take it down slightly. And then we want to be going over this other connection here, so it's going to be quite tricky to do that, especially with all these connections. Right, okay. Fighting for space, so to speak. So if we bring this down to here, go straight at it. How high off the ground is it? Oh wow, it's quite high. Okay, we might need a little bit more space, or we can take this further down initially. Let's bring this into play. So I want it to come out a decent curve. It's going to have to go down pretty steeply in order to connect in down here. So if we then come out straight and connect in there, we can then turn this round. Hopefully it will be perfectly fine. And then if we connect in down here, hopefully that's effectively replaced what we had previously. So anything that we can add from this would be a bonus, quite frankly, because we now have the T-junction that we had before, but we also have a straight road through. So what we potentially could do is connect this side to here, but we might need to do it from further back. Now, this isn't going to be easy, and to be honest with you, I'm not too sure how it will look, so I haven't decided whether I want it to work this way yet, but we can at least try it and see what happens. So I'm going to be doing effectively a road going down. I'm going to go, in fact, I'm going to turn this on. I'm going to go down a fair amount. In fact, we should probably try this from maybe further back. Considering we would be connecting it further back, it's not too much of a problem for us to do that. So if we actually look at how far down we would have to be to go through here, slope is too steep. So I don't think it's going to allow us, because of the slope just here. Slope is too steep. What's that? Okay, so I can't do that at any level here. That's definitely too steep. Okay. Okay, well, effectively all we need is these connections. We could potentially put in something going over. But it'd be really good if we could do down to here and then they spread out either direction. So if we were to do that, it looks like it might have to be above ground. What height is that? That is this height. So that is pretty much... that's a little bit off, actually. I want this to be pretty spot on. I'd say it needs to go a little bit higher. I don't know whether the increments that we have will allow us to do it to the point that we want. Let's just check that. Yeah, I think it's a little bit higher than... maybe not the roadway. Almost looks like this is going down. That's definitely down to ground level. So if we did the same thing on the other side, just bring this to here. That looks like it needs to be a little bit higher. So there's a lot of process of elimination here. Okay, so that's effectively how we want it. So let's just see whether we can potentially put in the connections in this way. I don't know whether we'll be able to do the other side because we've already put in some connections which were pretty tricky to get in the way that we needed them to be. Effectively, it would be what? Maybe this. It's a shame that we can't raise it in the middle. Like, that is an option in other games. Just saying. Not saying that City Skylines is bad at all. Because, let's face it, for what it is, it does really well. That looks like it's not quite high enough. That, on the other hand, that might work. So we've got something that we can work with. Let's just see whether that will work. I don't know. So let's take it back to ground level. And then I'm going to build this in separately to these other junctions. So we need to go down to where that continues from. Roughly there. And then we need the same sort of thing here. So if we use the curve tool, put in a decent curve. This isn't really what I want. but I don't think we'd be able to do a curve to the same point. And that's potentially it. That's not too bad, actually. That's a lot better than I was expecting it to be. It's not too bad. And then over here, if we do similar. I'm hopeful that will. Oh no. Yeah, I don't think that's going to be working here. So we need to do like a connection here in, which is going to be tricky, like I said, but we can give it a good try. So that's just putting a pillar right in the wrong place. So if we take this down, maybe connect it in like that. And then we need to, oh, this is actually, isn't it? Is it? No. So we're probably going to connect this one in down here, a little bit further along from where this one is. In fact, probably just continue this out. So go straight to there, connect that one in there, and then connect this one down here. That looks a little bit better. Over here, this is going to be really tricky. Right, we need that to be a little bit higher. Freehand, this is not very easy, but we're trying it. And to be fair, we're getting a lot more done than I thought we would. So if we were to connect that in, I don't think that's going to connect in like this one has. Let's give that a try. Of course, this one went from a higher point, so it might be harder to get to that same level. Again, those pillars are killing us. If they just moved so it was a little bit more forgiving. It's not perfect, but I'll allow it on this occasion, considering how hard this has been to put in so far. I think that's all we can really ask for. The only other thing I'd really love to do here is potentially put in a key. But doing that after the fact will probably be pretty tricky now. Yeah. Space is already occupied. Okay. Just ignore the key. Forget about the key. It's all good. We'll just do what we can with what we've got. So if we do the same over here as we did on the other side, bring this out further. In fact, this is curved, so we're going to have to follow the curve. It's just finding that right spot. And connecting that one in at a pleasing angle. And then I'm going to just pop this in here where it looks right, and then turn it around. So we then need to link these two up, and that's the final bit, actually. I'm actually quite shocked that we've been able to get this in. Let's just connect it up over here so that we don't have to worry about that, just in case we forget. Let's pop that in like so. I think that's going to be the best we can get there. And then this one, considering we're doing this, I'm actually quite shocked we've been able to do this by hand. This is actually still in the air a little bit, so do something like that. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. Very nice. Considering we have bridges connecting roads into bridges, or what other bridges are bridges? It's bridgeception. It's where we're going with that. We got a lot going on here. So if we continue that curve around slightly, ever so slightly, we need to connect this one in, and considering we got more space, it shouldn't be as hard, he says. He says it shouldn't be as hard. Let's try with the curve tool instead. No, what if we go down, like really down? No. Okay. Maybe we need to do this at a slightly different angle, which is a pain because we've already put this other one in, and I bet you... Nope. Okay. It just wants to show me up. I was going to say it's going to put in a pillar. So let's stretch this. Find the sweet spot there. I tell you what, I do not envy all those people who... Oh, actually, we should really go down at that point. All those people who spend a long time in the asset editor trying to get these junctions just right, because it is not easy. But it's doable, especially if you have tools like Move It and what have you. It makes it a lot easier. Not saying that I'm on hard mode or anything. I just wanted to play. Oh, that actually lines up. That was completely unexpected, but that lines up perfectly. We got to do this side, so we'll probably end up taking that further out. So let's just take that out to begin with, and then. So yeah, I'm not saying I'm doing it on hard mode or anything. I'm just saying the in-game tools can leave a little bit to be desired at the best of times. When you're trying to really thread the needle with this stuff, I mean, it's going down quite far. There we go. When you're trying to thread the needle with this stuff, it can be tricky, to say the least. Let's turn on the other ones, because actually the road guidelines will help here. And then we can put that into there. We can put this into... In fact, I want to take it a bit further out and then do it in, because then there's a bit more of a lead into where it splits. And that is a very big junction, but I think it's not perfect. It's got the sort of face a mother would only love, but it is definitely one that I love, because it took a hell of a lot to put it in. Also, look at that. We've only got 7,000 left. It's almost meant to be that it's just right. The only other issue is we don't necessarily have a connection here, which we did have to take out, and I do want to put that back in. What we potentially could do is a connection that allows things to go onto the motorway here and come off. Similarly to as we do down here, we've got roads where the stuff can come on and go off here. Did we put the train line back in? No, we didn't. Do we have enough money to put the train line back in? I think not quite, but if we just give it a minute, maybe pop it up to a faster speed, then hopefully, if the City Skylines gods smile on us, we will be able to put this connection back in. Come on, City Skylines, do this one thing for me, please. I mean, I shouldn't really say that. You just allow me to create a junction by hand that I really didn't expect I'd be able to do. So, thank you for that little game. The little game that could. Right, that'll do. That connects up our multiple cargo stations to each other. We can probably put in a connection here without too much issue. It's just a case of just waiting. These are going up and coming back down. Probably won't be able to put in a junction tonight. This is most likely going to be a one-way coming back. And then this is most likely going to be... There's thingamabobs right there, so I'm gonna... Oh, actually, it might be quite good to have asymmetrical here, just for the junction. So, yeah, that should be fine. We can leave it like that. We will be putting this incorrectly here. Oh, we've got 70,000. I can do it right now. Then that's fine. Yeah, I wish my real life budget was like my game budget, where you just have to wait a minute and then all of a sudden, oh look, there's 70,000. 70,000 whatevers. Where's the, like, there is, I mean, that doesn't. I was trying to find the sweet spot. Right. Let's pop that into there, and then that should open up an avenue for things to go that way. And then we just need to do the same thing, but for this. So I'm going to bring this down as close to the road as possible. And we're going to go for a curve. Might even do a curve like this. And then bring that down here. This tool for this part. So we'll do that, and then this will be the other way around. So that's coming in. We don't want to create a turnaround, so I'll just turn off that direction. We also don't want to have traffic waiting. Those cows are really loud. We don't want... Wow, look at all this traffic! Oh my gosh! Down here, we would like a dedicated left-hand lane. So we'll do that. So that means that stuff coming into the city can come in this way from this exclusive direction. unfortunately, we haven't been able to do anything. But then again, moving things the way that we have means that we potentially could put something in here. So we've got a larger road down here. If we move that particular... Oh, these are one-way streets, aren't they? Yes, these are. So actually, there's quite a lot of capacity here as it is. Do we do something? I'm just really glad that we managed to get this junction in. And it's working fairly well from what I can see. There isn't... I mean, it is early days, but there isn't too much of... I mean, maybe around here it could be improved. Yeah, it looks like it's working fairly well. Hopefully it stays that way. And it doesn't create bottlenecks. But yeah, that's pretty good. Down here, I would say that we would have to remove this road if we really wanted to put in a decent connection, because I'd want it to go in here. And if we were to do that, I don't know where this one could connect. Maybe down here, actually. Now that we moved the motorway, that could work really well, actually. Mind you, we do have a highway, metro station right there, but so what? I don't know why that would be a massive issue. Yeah, we could probably follow the motorway pretty much down to here. So if we were to take, say, one of these roads, and we just come out like so, and I want it to follow this pretty well up. We're going to have to remove some of the stuff that we've already got in. And that's actually kind of annoying because we did set up a timed traffic light here, if I remember correctly. No, we didn't. Ah, oh, that's fine then. Let's take that bit out. I'm going to move this road. So if we just... Sorry, remove those ones there. So this was a one-way before. We can probably make it that after. I want to do like a straight road down. And then we'll probably connect in here with a curved bit of road. Something like that. This will be one way. So that one, I know that it's not one way that I've put in, don't worry. We will sort that out. We can come in and connect with a relatively decent curve. And then all we need to do is create maybe a tunnel, maybe a highway tunnel through. Ah, the only problem is I've just blocked a potential way off for this traffic. Oh. Maybe we do the connection from here. Just because then, like this even, we can have this road coming in, it splits, and then it basically be the same thing, just flipped. We'll have the traffic going on and the traffic coming over. So let's give that a try. I'm a little bit annoyed that that didn't necessarily work out, but it's perfectly fine because this will go back in the way that we removed it, and actually it gains a little bit more space now, and it looks a bit more right. We just need to change this to be one way. And then those will go round the roundabout, round. We can put these in as high density. Put this all in. And then hopefully that provides a bit more space than what we had before for the commercial area. So at the very least, we've probably gained a bit more space, so that's good. It's a shame that this one doesn't expand into that one square, but anyway. So what we're doing here, if we were to take, it's probably just going to have to be an asymmetrical road rather than a motorway or a highway road. Come out like so. And it's going to be the other way around, the other way flat. If we put in a highway road going, it's going to be fiddly, but we'll try. Road across, let's just get the angle right. Will go in there, and then we need basically just a simple connection here, like really simple. Maybe not quite that simple. If we could get a decent curve on this. Gonna go with that. I reckon if we tweak it for hours, we could probably get it a little bit better. But I don't want to be here forever, as I'm sure you don't want to watch me doing this forever. So we put that back in. We've got a really good connection here now, which allows stuff to come off here. Obviously, we had the connections down this way, but I feel like this on its own really fulfills that one's like we've had this one really busy in the past, so having just an extra little slip in will help get things down to this area, or at least that's the hope. And then over here, even though we haven't been able to put this back as it was, so having both directions, I feel like this junction in general will open up a lot more down this way, so that's perfectly fine. Right. Can we potentially link something in a little bit better down here? I don't think that we can, and annoyingly it's because the way that it's already set up, if we were to put in a connection off here, it's going to be really tricky to connect that in properly. Doesn't mean it's impossible. I don't know. And also, connecting in here would be a bit tricky. Then again, we could probably do a trumpet down this way. And this one was that way, so that worked really well. You know what? Let's give it a try. So, we've got a fair amount of space here. We can probably play around with it a little bit. Try and get this just right here. I don't know what we'll do to connect these two roads together. This is a 4-way road, this is a 6-way road, so it might just be better if we actually connected that into this road. So we'll take this back. What was that? Post truck. Oh, a post service. Yes, of course, that's what we did last episode, wasn't it? Or last series, last stream even. So if we come out like so, and then maybe did a 4-lane road. This one. Space already occupied. Is it just this that's getting in the way? There we go. In fact, put that on the other side. Put it like down here. That would be a better place for it. That. Industrial again. So if we can do, might even be worth just having this road going down here and then having just a brief stint of 6-lane, because there's quite a bit here. Let's have a look at that. What does that look like? Possibly. I don't know about this. If we had one dedicated left hand. Same here. One dedicated. And then one dedicated left hand. Because I don't think stuff's going to come down here to go that way, especially where we've got this connection. Forgot about that one. It could potentially be removed. But then again, it offers quite a fast way through down to this area. I mean, this could be downgraded even. It's only got that on it. And then we could probably do more with this. Hopefully that just moves with it, like so. And then that's already set up pretty well, I would say. So it allows most of the traffic to go through that way. So then if we did something like a nice little curve here, just to connect that through. We'll put in the industrial route afterwards. In fact, if we're literally just going to be putting a trumpet interchange down here, would we need 6-lane traffic down here? Not really. We could probably downgrade this and get a much better situation out of this, because the faster traffic, in fact, if we used asymmetrical, that allows us to do a lot more with it. The faster traffic would more likely be beneficial here. Right, so let's go up and across. Oh, that's not quite high enough. And then down here, if we did quite a nice long sweeping curve, which we can use this space for. And then this is the correct orientation to be able to just split it and go straight into the junctions here. So if we go off at a decent angle and then curve it even further. Oh, that might be a little bit too close. So decent angle, curve it further. Space already occupied. Maybe it needs to. No. Is it because is it 4-lane? Is that what's causing the problem? I don't think this will be needed to be 4-lane anymore. So we'll just go through and downgrade it. And then where we need it to be 4-lane, we can make it 4-lane. I didn't mean to hit play just then. Ah, there we go. Of course, less capacity equals better. That's that should be on a mission statement somewhere. Less capacity equals better. I love it. Right, so I don't know what we're going to do here. This is the only problem, because effectively this is just too close to put I don't want to put a connection in here. Like, coming out from this would just cause all sorts of issues there. But connecting somewhere down here might be a little bit different. So what we could do, and I'm just spitballing here, if we bring this down, and I'm going to have to turn off these so that we can do this relatively easily. So from here, no. We'll need it to be an actual road in order to do this. Let's just use a dirt road, because then it's nice and cheap if we need to replace it. I kind of want to come out like this and go into. We can do this better. Alright. Put this dirt road in like that. Then have that dirt road. Ah, damn. Alright. Put this dirt road in like here. And then if we just use the road going lines here to find a decent curve, connect those in, we can then upgrade those to highway. So it's nice fast road, and for this little stretch we'll extend that asymmetrical, have that be a dedicated turn lane. In fact, these are the wrong roads. I meant to put that in. There we go. And then we can do an off here, similar to what we did before. So if we just turn these back on. That would be going that way. This one would be going in here. It's still very close, but I feel like it's better than going that way around. And then ultimately this creates a turnaround which we don't want. So we're going to turn off the turnings there. Up here, how do we want this? Probably like that, I would say. And then this could actually be lowered down in capacity, quite frankly. I think we should be fine with it being like that. So then we've got a dedicated right-hand lane there. Yeah. Let's see how that goes. I would like to have some dedicated lanes though, especially here, and especially that one. So going straight or going left is dedicated. Going that way is dedicated. Going that way is dedicated. Yeah. That would be way better, in my opinion. Don't know what the traffic light situation is. So this really shouldn't be traffic lights. I want that to be a giveaway. I want that to be a giveaway. If anything, that one's stopped because we've got more stuff on this. Way more stuff on this. In fact, it might be better if we put this straight in. Oh, look at that. It's almost like it's meant to be. There we go. That's way better. And then we could potentially even put in some ad hoc one-way system around here. Just to help stuff get from A to B. So we would want that to be dedicated. This is a little bit bad because it's having to turn across the other traffic, but oh no, actually this is the same. The only place it works is here. Does it? No, it doesn't. Yes, no, yeah, no, yeah. Could we turn it around with that? No, because then it would be crossing. Which way round is it? Oh, it's wrong. That might be why. So it's meant to be going that way round. Yes. I think that's how we want it. So if we turn off that one's turn lane, then that has to go straight through. Basically, we want this stuff to give way. Probably want this to be asymmetrical. Don't want it to be 2 lanes. This will need to give way. I wonder whether it will recognize this. Yes, it is. That's pretty cool. Okay, that's exactly how we want it pretty much. Let's just manage the lanes because I don't like the way it's doing them. And then all of these are groovy. I love it. Bellissimo. Beautiful. Couldn't be better. Lovely. So we'll just fill out this area with more industrial. Not that we have enough of it. And that creates like quite a nice little curve as well, which I'm quite happy with. It does raise the question, who gives way down here? Now, considering the only lane that would have to give way is, well, actually, this one would have to give way to this stuff. This one would have to give way to that stuff. So it's a shame that we can't say this one can just go whenever. This one gives way. This one goes whenever, and this one gives way to that specifically. I don't think we can do that. What I may do is just leave it as it is and keep an eye on it, because if I put rules into it and it being so small, it may well just cause issues. But this is a huge connection for down here, because up till now, if anything's wanting to go this way towards any of these things, so the area up here, or the airport, or the harbours, or the other industries, so the fishing, or maybe even the commercial areas, is basically had to go out and then come back. So having a connection here where it can go off that way is pretty huge. This is also very, very close to have a connection in, and I'm a little bit skeptical to see how it will work. We'll have to just wait and see on that one. But I'm also quite happy with how that little industrial estate worked out, even though it's got massive issues with not enough workers. So we need to put something in, probably more residential somewhere. This has moved across, so we could potentially move this. In fact, let's move this down. What we can do is, if we go underneath at this point, we have a whole load more space. So let's do that. I would say normally putting in a tunnel would be out of the question for this tiny area, but considering the space that it provides us, we could build more industry into, especially on fertile land, which is this place's dedication. Hopefully we can do a connection there. Look at that. We could do a one-way system. We can connect up this one, go further back over here. Nice. Pack it in, son. You know, if it's using more space to farm, it's a good thing in my books. I don't know whether we want a connection here. Now that we've got a through route here, this is very close. This is very tight. So I'll just remove that because we've got a connection down here. We've got the road coming up this way. If anything, we could just remove this section, have it be all farm. And then we got two connections here. We could possibly have like a one-way, which would need to come out here and then go in this way. Something like that. And then we can just have that. That should work pretty well. Yeah, I quite like that. Use a little one-way to make more use of the space that we've got. Hopefully these aren't traffic lights. This just needs to be a giveaway, really. That should be fine, although I really don't want to dedicate more than one lane to that one-way system. Anything, this can just keep going straight on. In fact, I guess the way the game, the logic works, it'd be better to have a dedicated left-hand lane. So we'll use a dedicated left-hand lane and see how that goes. We got some nice farms over here. I think apparently. Wait, what? Phil's. Oh, I thought that said Phil's Fishes. I'm gonna rename it Phil's Fishes. There we go. Where is the livestock? Animal Farm, Phil's Fields, Animal Farm. Yeah, these, like, Mary's Livestock doesn't exist. What's going on with that? But anyway, so hopefully this traffic works fairly well. it should also be a really good way to break up these large fields and what have you from just dumping into one road. So having a one-way system around here means that they have to go one way round. Don't know whether it's necessarily the best way round, because it might be if they're coming out of here in, say, a left-hand road sort of fashion, so as in going in this way, out this way, they would have to cross over each other. I won't know that unless I see one of the trucks going in and one of the trucks coming out. So it looks like I missed that one. Where's the next one? Is that... no. There's one over here. There's one coming from way over that way. Maybe if we pop it onto 3 times speed. Right, here it comes. So, there we go. If we watch this one, I'm gonna call this Tim's tractor. Don't know why. So he's returning to his facility. Tim on his tractor. He's just going down his road, getting to where he needs to go. He's had a hard day, Tim. He's just wanting to go home, see the missus, have a nice dinner. Right, this is where we need to pay attention. So, goes in on the right, it looks like. So, ooh, that's... it's not great, but hopefully... interesting choice of silo to use. The one way over here, but anywho. Yeah, it should be fine. There won't be masses of traffic going down this way to potentially get stuck behind that, so I think it should be fine. Probably do a connection here, and then that just doesn't mean just means it's not connected to something. Do a connection there. Kind of pointless, but if a lightning strike hits this one, it can go around the other way. We've also got the connections down here, which we potentially need to split out. There. That builds in a little bit more redundancy here. No one point of failure will cause us to lose power here. We could even connect this together. It looks a bit garish, but when that legend isn't on, what's this called? It's like electricity. Great. This layer, whatever you want to call this, isn't on, then it's not very easily viewable. So yeah, we have now connected through this way. Hopefully, we're getting a lot of traffic down this way. I mean, it looks like it's getting busier down here. But yeah, look at this. All of this going down to this area and going through 2 different places. It's even going down this way. Oh, that's good. This makes me happy. So, that now opens up this area down here. So if we just check, we can actually check from here and we'll see all of the traffic that's using it. So stuff from over here, we got stuff up this corridor which is using it. We've also got, what looks like potentially traffic from over here using the motorway through and down. We've got some nice little slip lanes there, so I think it's working pretty darn efficiently, and hopefully it will be a welcome addition to the. I mean, it's a little bit wonky, but just don't look too closely. Squint a little if you have to, but it looks all right in my opinion. Considering I made it. We could actually remove this connection. Because we've got this one here. So yeah, I think that is doing pretty well. Obviously we have larger issues like not enough buyers products and not enough workers. Or wait, what? Not enough buyers products? I thought you were moaning about workers. Yeah, not enough workers, not enough buyers of products. Lots of different issues we can sort out hopefully with time. But yeah, I'm quite happy with how this is going. I hope you are too. I think I'm going to leave this one here. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know what you think with your thumbs. If your thumbs don't cut it, then let me know with a comment down below. But as always, have a great rest of your day. If you enjoyed this stream, then consider subscribing. But until next time,